Hello everyone, Tanya Siddiqui here. First of all, I would like to thank all my subscribers for subscribing to my channel and for the nice comments that I have received. Thank you very much. I also received some of the questions from you asking me the best age to start solid food in infants and toddlers. And therefore, I decided to make this video informing all the moms and dads about the benefits of breastfeeding. Breast milk must be the only food given to the children from ages 0 to 6 months because it contains the right amounts of nutrients and vitamins for children's optimal development. In fact, breast milk contains over 200 components that are essential for children's brain development and all-around development, and it has the right consistency of water and other nutrients, and therefore no supplementary or complementary food is required while the child is breastfeeding. I also understand that sometimes breastfeeding is not an option, and in those situations, there are formulas, substitute formulas in the market with added vitamins and minerals that can be bought and given to the child. In this video, I would be concentrating on the benefits of breastfeeding for moms and children, and I would be talking to you about some tips that you can use to successfully breastfeed because breastfeeding is not an easy task. It is a skill that needs to be learned by both mom and the child. Human milk comprised of vitamins and minerals, oligosaccharides. Oligosaccharides are a type of carbohydrate that contains fibers that helps in the digestive process and facilitate detoxification, which results in better health and help prevent diseases such as colon cancer. And it has 800 strains of bacteria, immune cells, hormones, protein, lactose, various fats, antibodies. And the benefits for children are that the children have less allergies, they have strong immune system, that means they don't get sick very often, less respiratory diseases, fewer childhood cancers, low risk of diabetes 1 and 2, low risk of sudden infant death syndrome, better vision, and higher IQ. Because as we saw, breast milk contains a lot of vitamins and nutrients that are very beneficial for children's brain development, and majority of brain develops before age 2, about 90%, and it is much better to provide children with food that can facilitate that development. The benefits for moms are that breastfeeding promotes faster weight loss because it takes about 500 extra calories a day to build and maintain a milk supply, and it stimulates the uterus to contract and return to normal size after delivery, and less postpartum bleeding, fewer infections, and more positive moods because breastfeeding produces the naturally soothing hormones that are oxytocin and prolactin that promote stress reduction and positive feeling in the nursing mother. It increases confidence and self-esteem. The babies, it could be because the babies cry less and have fewer incidences of childhood illness. Breastfeeding can support the wellness of body, mind, and spirit for the whole family. Breastfeeding makes travel easier because breast milk is always clean and the right temperature. Physical and emotional bonding is created between mother and child while the child is breastfeeding, and it also promotes more skin to skin contact, which helps reduce social behavioral problems in both children and when they grow into adulthood. Breastfeeding mothers learn to read their infant's cues and babies learn to trust caregivers. This helps shape the infant's early behavior. So these are some of the tips for successful breastfeeding. more skin to skin contact, especially immediately after birth, and which is encouraged in most of the hospitals. And be patient because breastfeeding is a skill that both mother and baby is learning, and it is harder for some mothers than it is for others. Like anything new, it takes time and patience. Relaxation is important for the mother and the baby. Background relaxing music is a good idea. If you find you're getting frustrated or angry at yourself while you're trying to breastfeed, stop and try again in a little while. If your baby is distressed and if it is possible, ask someone to keep them distracted until you're ready to try again. I cannot emphasize this enough. Babies have small stomachs and they need frequent feedings. Making feeding schedule is wrong and would starve the baby of essential nutrients that they need as they are developing really fast during this time. Keep baby in the room with you, which will reduce the risk of sudden infant death. It also promotes breastfeeding. Having your baby in the same room as you will help you recognize when your baby is hungry, tired, or in need of cuddle. It will make it easier for you to know when your baby is ready to feed. And avoid complementary feeds or dummies because your baby is still learning to breastfeed, they can become confused if they are offered a teat or dummy. If your baby has fluids other than breast milk, they will breastfeed less and your breast milk supply will decrease. Frequent, unrestricted suckling will satisfy your baby and ensure your milk supply continues to meet your baby's needs. And when babies are exclusively breastfed, they need no other food or drink until at least 6 months of age. You can be confident that your baby is receiving enough milk in the early weeks if they have six or more heavy, wet nappies and at least one bowel motion a day. It is also a good sign if your baby settles after most feeds and feel relaxed and comfortable. Breastfeeding also influences children's eating habits, and during second trimester, the baby's taste buds start to develop, and children are exposed to food flavors that their mom eat through the amniotic fluid and later with breast milk. And according to research, breast milk can influence your child's eating habits. Therefore, if you want your child to eat more vegetable, you must eat more vegetables when you are expecting and while you are breastfeeding the child. There are some supplements like iron and vitamin D supplements that may be required after 4 months of age. Because human milk contains little iron, so infants who are exclusively breastfed are at increased risk of iron deficiency after 4 months of age. If your baby is partially breastfed, the iron recommendation remains the same as that for fully breastfed babies if more than half of the daily feedings are from human milk and the child is not receiving iron containing complementary foods. If your baby is on infant formula, it is recommended that you use iron fortified formula containing from 4 to 12 milligram of iron from birth through the entire first year of life. And for premature babies, they have fewer iron stores, so they often need additional iron beyond what they receive from breast milk or formula. And babies can breastfeed for 2 years if possible. Babies may also need vitamin D supplement if they or their moms are not receiving adequate exposure to sunlight, which could be due to living indoors or due to multiple layers of clothing when they are going out. And it is always recommended that you consult your healthcare provider to find out what vitamins and supplements your child require when you are breastfeeding. In this video, we looked at the benefits of breastfeeding for both mom and the child. We also looked at some of the ways we can make breastfeeding a success. In my next video, I would continue talking about children and nutrition. I would be talking about what foods to introduce at what ages. And thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.